Hello, this is Julie Silver Stitches here on FlossTube Instagram, and I do have a Facebook page group, but I don't really do anything with it, so welcome. Thank you for the new subscribers since my last video update. Sorry for taking so long. It seems like I haven't done a regular update in about 2 weeks. This right here is Skitters, if you don't know them, and this is Wet Hair because, you know, showers. So, today is Saturday, December 6th, 2025, and I am here for a, I guess, 2-week update. I was here last weekend, but I only had done a semi-plans video, so that didn't really count, I don't feel. So, last weekend was very busy. We ended up going away to one of my friends' places to help her move. So that was exciting and busy all at the same time. So, yeah, so that's what ended up happening last weekend. This weekend, my husband James and his dad, they are at the drywalling situation. So it is 2:30 in the afternoon, so chances are they could come. James, could come home, or he could be there for another couple hours. I'm not quite sure what the whole spectrum of the detail of work that they're going to do today is. So, are you ready? I worked on 11 unique projects, 11 different projects. We're going to take the glasses off because why are they there? I can read all my notes, so, ta-da. Okay, so, let's start out with my daily stitch. Didn't end up being a real daily stitch because I only worked on it for 2 more days after my last update video. I am talking about this little guy here. This is right here, my snowman guy. This original pattern is a Maria Diaz from the World of Cross Stitching magazine. I'll show him to you a little bit bigger. He's right here. And so I had only decided at the time when I started this to stitch just the snowman. So I ended up putting another 193 stitches in it. And when I got to the 93 that day, I was like, we're done. We're done. No real reason, just I think it was because I was working on hat, and the hat is light colors. So everything, that whole page, this whole page up here, it was split into 2. So this whole page up here is finished. So now I'm working my way down on one end, filled in a little bit more of the, yeah, you can feel it, a little bit more of the hat. You can't really see it, and the beginning of the snowman, which is white. So it's going to take a little bit longer to get through, but 193 stitches on this. So it's not going anywhere. It's still in my rotation, kind of. It's not going in my end of the world pile, so sorry. Okay, so who knows when I'll pick it up again, when I am inspired to stitch blue or snowman. There we go. That's that. The next thing I ended up working on, I started out a lot of the week with paper patterns, aka two paper patterns. So here we go. So since I last had a video, that was an actual shared update video, I was working on Cozy Winter Mugs by KEB Studio Creations. Did I get it? I did. KEB Studio Creations. This is Cozy Winter Mugs. It's in the 2020 display until, oh good grief, February 2023 cross stitch. Does that say display until February 2027? Oh no, lies. Anyway, this is the February 2023 just cross stitch magazine. Came out of that one. Okay, so I'm using Roxy Floss for the thread. I am using a Fiddler's Cloth Type Eta in a 14 count. I only really got one row done before I was either done with the project or ran out of time or ran out of thread, or I don't know what the ran out of was, but here we are, added one more line. So progress is progress, especially on the paper patterns. Who's talking in the hallway, do you think? Anyway, here we go. That's that. A variety of different thread counts for that project and a variety of different Roxy Floss colors. One day that will also be finished, but it's not on my going anywhere pile, so one day. Maybe in the next couple weeks I'll get more inspired to stitch on more winter Christmas things when we get closer to Christmas. All right. So the next one is Sleepy Turtle. This is by Tammy Blevins of, I found her on Facebook. She has a Facebook page, so I just picked up this, saved the picture to my phone and then put it through Pictopat and brightened up all of the colors. It's only an extra 50 stitches, and I'm not really quite sure why, but maybe it was a temperature stitch, maybe it was a FlossTube, maybe I did it for Marika, I'm not really quite sure, but here I am. This is now at 500 stitches, and it's at 5%. If I think I'll have time, I'm going to post up a before and after picture somewhere on the page. A before picture, I mean, because I think I'm going to go through, if I have them, the last rendition of what I had stitched. So, maybe. Maybe we'll do that, maybe we won't. So if you don't see it, then it didn't happen. Who knows? Alright, so, next up is Steampunk Portal. This is an L&L design. It is by Heaven and Earth Designs. It was the 2025 Sal. I got 201 stitches on this. I don't know why the one, but anyways. It is now at 5,901 and 6.92%. Again, not quite sure about why the one, but is what it is. I can't even tell you where the one is. Oh, you know why? Because I decided, I don't know why, to add this stitch right here. Maybe it was because there were no other stitches in that color, so that's why I did it along one of these. Yeah, this one right here has an extra, the first stitch of the next box. Don't know why. Don't know why. Okay, so that is, yeah, now at 6.92%. The next one is Mini Beginner Seashell. This is by Kayomi Harai. I think you can still get it on the Heaven and Earth Design website. This is a mini, so it's quite small. And I put in 176 stitches. 14,326 stitches are here. And it is at 56.63%. So where I worked was down in that sand. No. I'm gonna have to figure out where now, what I'm doing wrong, because now that bottom part isn't counted right. I don't know why, what happened, where I went wrong, I don't know, doesn't matter, it's sand. So eventually I'll just go through this and go through the pattern and just try and figure out what went wrong, because I don't really know. Anyway, tanny yellow stitches are tanny yellow stitches as far as I'm concerned. So we'll see about that. This might be a super short video because I am flying through these. But at least it's an update. So, okay. I do have new plans. I'll talk about that after. All right, next is Dragon Mini, Dragon in the Morning. This is Heaven and Earth Design, Randall Spangler. And I put in a whole 50 stitches, because who knows why. Probably FlossTube frenzy, and we're just continuing adding stitches into my last block over here, so I'll show it like this. Alright, and then I will zoom in to where I was stitching on in nice folded. Yes. Maybe one more? There. Okay. One more. Okay, so there. Biggest project, but smallest. Anyway, so here we are. Still just added more of the 718, this pink, and added a few more stitches to another few colors. And this is now at 14.77% with 15,650. So, hooray! It will be a hooray when I eventually get all those stitches filled in, that is for sure. When I'm working on the next line down, that will be great. That will be the hooray! Alright, so next one up is Autumn Fairies. This is... It's getting there. It's getting there. This is by Karen Middleton. It's a retired freebie chart from Heaven and Earth Design. And I put 317 stitches into this. As you can see, I'll zoom into where I was working. At the top half, I have put in a lot of stitches. All 317 stitches ended up being at the top. So I filled in a little bit more of the acorn hat. I filled in a little bit more of the red on his body. I filled in a little bit, all of this actually, because that's all new. So great progress. I filled in a little bit over here because there was colors that I had that, you know, made it to go over there. So this is now 7,463. So 40.34%. I made it over the 40% mark. That is fantastic. I also made it down to the halfway mark. These stitches here are halfway. That is the red dot on the pattern. Hooray! So 2 kind of mini milestones for that, if you're counting milestones. Past 40%, and I reached the middle of the design. Okay, so next one is the infamous mini Watching the World Go By Lucy Pittaway. It is retired, because that's what happened. And you can get it on Bothy Threads as a kit if you wish to. I haven't worked on this for a few days, so good luck, Julie. Anyway, 164. Is that what it is? No. 165. You tell me. I can't tell you. No idea. Any ideas? I think... Oh yeah, no, I kind of remember. Okay, so here comes Charlotte. Okay, so I worked in up... to Charlotte. Baby girl. Charlotte. No, you're more interested in what's going on outside. Alright, so I worked in up here. Maybe a little bit more down here. I kind of hopped around on all the greens, I think, to try and start filling in, because I still have lots and lots and lots of... There she is. Come here, beautiful. No? Okay. Sorry, you at least got a face shot. That was very pretty. Anyway, that is now... this is now at 84.0%. So, another milestone, or should I wait until 85? Let's wait until 85. Okay. So, what's next? Sad Fairy. Sad Fairy! it made an appearance. And I will tell you all about how it's making an appearance and how I decided to stitch on everything that I worked on in plans, because I think going forward, overall, this is going to be the new plan. So, Sad Fairy came out. I've been working on Sad Fairy for probably about 8 years, okay? I made a significant progress amount on this, with a little bit of a milestone, because I passed 5,000 stitches. I now have, I put in 412 stitches, so 5,322 is the new big number, and this is now at 2.82%. Woo! So I'm still just working on the first page. So this is 5,000. Excuse me, sir, can you move your paws? Mister? Thank you. Alright, 5,322. And this is the paw, Mr. Paws. With these big paws, stepping on my paper. Hi, buddy. Good the baby boy. I know, he had to make an appearance. Okay, so, still monster claws because, you know, haven't cut his nails yet, but c'est la vie. Alright, so this is now at 2.82%. This in total has 189,000 stitches. This is my biggest project. The next biggest project is Mini Dragon in the Morning at 105,950, I think. Anyway, here we are, 2.82%. Ta-da! Yeah, so over 5,000 stitches now, so that's great. Not that I wanted, sorry, not that I wanted to make that my goal, but it was kind of. So, yes. Hooray! All right, you again with the paws, sir. Well, you can't sleep there, because this is where my papers and my animal owners. Do you have any time that you're doing things, anything? You're doing things, you're filming things, you're stitching things, you're making things, you're whatever, and they sit right on whatever it is you're doing. They're not going to sit like 2 meters away, 2 feet away, whatever. They're going to sit right where you need the things. Every time. Okay, so I'm going to dig out now that he's sitting on it. Excuse me, sir. Well, no, don't get grumpy at me, because that's mine, not yours. Mine. Alright, what are we doing here? Fractal 53 is first. So, I did get a lot of stitching time in this week, because not just, oopsies, there's a hole in this bag, look. Huh? What? How did that get there? Did somebody try and eat it? Maybe. Maybe it was a claw. Who knows? Alright. So, this is Fractal Bookmark Fractal? Fractal Bookmark 53, I think, is the actual name of it. It's by Cross Stitch Collectibles. I put in 318 stitches into this week. There is a counting error, but I'm going to fudge it until I figure it out. And here we are. So, this is now at 2,900. That's how you say that. 19.33%. So as you can see, I've added the blue. I finished off the green. And that's where that 318 stitches came from. But overall, this in middle situation, even though it's starting to look great, is not counted right, of course, because my name is Julie. So why would I do that? Anyways, that's fine. We're just gonna ad-lib it and flib it and flub it until I figure it out. Until that center space is, that center middle ring is stitched in, because it's all just colors going into colors, right? So it's fine. It's going to be fine. If you take a look around here, if I was able to. You ready? We're going on a thing. Oh, shish kebab. All right, so ooh, I can't do this because I can't see where I'm going. So this is Charlotte. She's sleeping. She's trying to sleep. She's half sleeping. And then if you can, I don't want to show you too much, of course, because you know my house is. Anyway, Simon and Charlotte are doing some very cute sleeping beside each other thing. There we go. Oh, little babies. Oh, Simon's head. Oh, jeez. There we go. Adorable. Anyway, we're back now. I'm not moving you around anymore. Okay, we are almost done. So, last 11th project. 100 stitches was just enough to say I worked on it. This is Never Quit. This is by Stitchery Stitch On. It was on Etsy, but I don't know if it's still there. And this was a couple of years ago. So I put in 100 stitches. So I'm now at 1,320, which is 21.52%. And here we are. So this is on a light blue Aida. And mostly everything you've seen today is on Aida. I'm primarily an Aida stitcher, unless it's the fancy stuff, in which case, anyways. Here we go. I almost finished 2 days. This is the T, and it's going to be very close to the edge, but I don't know what I'm doing with this yet, so that's okay. So this is where we're at for the whole thing. I have put in some stitches up here just to make sure that the height was going to be okay. Height's going to be okay. It's just the width. Who knows what's going to happen. So I think every time I work on it, when I'm on this side of the world, of the piece, it's going to be tight quarters. But whatever, that's fine. So 21.52% is just one line of the design. So I put in the O. And I put in a little bit of the T. A whole, I think, 4 stitches or 5 stitches. 8 stitches at max. Anyway, so that is all for the actual progress update. I'm going to go on to talking about plans. I have created 2 wheels. One wheel is my I want to finish in 2026 charts, and the other wheel is 2026 charts or 2027 charts and beyond. So last video that I did, the update video, I showed you all of the projects that were wanting to be 2026 finishes. All of the full coverage digital charts, at least. So yes, all of those. I don't recall how many there are right now, but there's a bunch of them that I would like to see finished in 2026. They have a specific number per week that I need to stitch on starting in January 1st. So January 1st to December 31st, that's how I calculated it. Hold please. Okay, I guess part 2, because I got a phone call and it was too long, and so the pause button just said, bananas to you, and we're gonna just stop the video, so that's fine. Plans. Okay, so 2 wheels, one 2026, one 2027 and beyond. I spin the 2026 wheel, I try for 7 times a week. I only really came up with this idea a few days ago, so going forwards, it's going to be trying 7 times a week. So I'll get 7 days progress on the 2026 whips. So I'm going to take the week worth of stitches worth. So like, let's say, Watching the World Go By, that is 165 stitches per week that I need to do in order to keep on progress with finishing by December 31st, 2026. So, but something like when I went overboard on Fractal 53, I was only supposed to do... I'll check. I was only supposed to do... This might take a while. Wake up. Okay. I was only supposed to do 100 and something, or... No, sorry, 245. But I ended up doing 300 and... whatever it was. 318. So, technically, it's going to get done a little bit earlier now. So that's okay with me. So as long as I continue on that track of stitching on things over and over and over again, at one point during the year, I will have a bunch of finishes in 2026. And so that is my goal. As for the 2027 and beyond stitches, the whip of the week, quote unquote, was, you can't even see it, but it was Sad Fairy. And so everything now that I work on, so I'll have another whip of the week starting, I guess, tomorrow. I've already worked on Sad Fairy today. So it got the 412 stitches. So it was supposed to get 700 stitches, but because 100 times 7, but that's okay. That's okay with me. It was originally not going to get any stitches. So 412 is way better than 0. And I've made a little bit of a milestone with that one, so hooray. A big little bit. That was massive. Getting past 5,000 stitches, I never thought I was going to happen. Especially since that's been my biggest project, and it's been my biggest project. I've been working on that one for 8 years, like I said, almost 8 years. And, I'm only at 2 point something %. But I want to see it finished. And now that I'm getting out of the lighter, lighter colors, it's far more fun. That's all I'm going to say. Because now I'm coloring. I'm stitching with all of the darker colors now, or getting darker colors. So it's looking a little bit more interesting other than just a sunbeam. So that is my plan going forwards. I will be starting, I think, a variation of FlossTube Frenzy in the new year. That's what that was. It was in the new year. And so I don't know exactly what it's going to be yet. I have a new start planned with Tess Stitches. Is that her FlossTube name? Oh man. Anyway, Tess, she lives in Australia. And we are going to be starting Whip Wars with this pattern. It's only 830-ish stitches. So we still need to work out a little bit of how much each card is worth, and if face cards are worth hundreds, or if they're just worth, whatever it's going to be. Because we don't want it over too quickly, but we don't want it over, taking a year to finish 830 stitches. So this was a freebie from my Big Toe Designs, I think. If not, then I'll put it down here. Past that, I hope you have a great weekend, rest of your weekend. That was a phone call to see how the job was doing, and I said I have no idea because I haven't talked to James since about 11:30 or 12. So I don't know what the situation is with the drywall. But as for a life update or a next message update, life has been lifing, of course, just like everybody else. That drywall project that I keep talking about, and we'll probably keep talking about next week too, still going. Today I decided to stay home, because when I'm there, I don't do anything anyway, so why am I going? Anyways, when I could be here doing house things and filming videos with nobody around and watching all my cute cats and, doing things that need to happen here. So, anyway, so they are installing the rest of the flooring today. They are installing all of the round thingamajiggers, what's it called? The door, the framing around the edging that goes around the door. The baseboards, they're not baseboard. They go around the board. Anyway, the doors. Anyways, the baseboards, maybe they'll put the first coat of primer on, because they're taking a long time. They've been gone since like 9 o'clock, and now it's almost 3. So lots of things are happening, but I don't know exactly what, and I've had one phone call, but anyway, that's fine. So that's that. Hopefully it's going as swimmingly as possible, because I only really want to go over there maybe 1 or 2 times and have this project done. I want to talk a little bit about plans versus reality. The expectation of plans is we have all these great plans. They always are these sometimes ginormous, like, I'm going to stitch this many, or I'm going to work on this many projects, or I have this plan for when this happens, or whatever. And sometimes life just lifes. Family gets sick, medical appointments happen, animals get sick, like trips to some family things happen, right? And so therefore the thing that gets paused is most times is our stitching. And what can we do about it? We can't do anything about it, right? Like it's just something that is out of our control. And I know, even though we have, like I said before, all these great plans, and we have to keep on top of them, otherwise we're going to fall behind, and all of the things. This is a hobby. We're supposed to be here for fun. Sometimes I feel like if something doesn't happen right away, like it's supposed to, like whatever the project is, it's supposed to get 1,000 stitches, well, then it wasn't meant to be getting 1,000 stitches this week, or whatever the case might be. But I hope that you can find all of the stitching goodness, as much as you can at least, and be happy with what you have accomplished, because there are so many people that don't see this hobby as a productive thing. I know it 100% is great for my mental health. I know it's most likely 100% great for your mental health. And we are going to eventually, even though sometimes it takes years to complete something, we eventually are able to put up very nice things around our house that we created ourselves. So I think that's the best part about this whole thing, that even if you're a product stitcher or a process stitcher, you're still having fun. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to do the project, as long as it's getting done, as long as you're continuing on and doing all the things. You don't need the latest gadgets or gizmos or, FOMO. Yes, I understand. Fear of missing out. That is real. I understand that. But if you miss out, maybe it just wasn't meant to be. Maybe you weren't meant to stitch on that project that day, or that series of projects for the latest release of anything. Not to sound negative or whatever, but we all have our families to take care of. We all have pets and groceries, and, we have to work and all of the things. And if sometimes it just doesn't happen, and that is okay. So I'm going to leave it there, because I feel like I'm just going down a rabbit hole of negativity, which I didn't really want to do. I just wanted to say it's okay. It's okay if we don't get to the 500 stitches a week. It's okay if we don't get to the 15 projects that we had planned for that week. It's okay. So I'm going to leave you there. Sparkle and shine. Have a fantastic week ahead of you. I know that we are now going into the second week of December, which is absolute chaos. So I hope you have everything that you need, everything that you want, and I hope you have a great week. I will see everybody next week. Sparkle and shine. Bye, everybody.